The global fight between Assassins and Templars has been raging for generations, and time is running out for the planet. Desmond needs to dive back into the Animus, but the events he'll relive are unlike anything that he's seen before. But if you don't want to be clueless like poor Desmond, pay attention. We're going to tell you what makes Assassin's Creed 3 different from his past Animus excursions. The last Assassin's Creed game finished with Ezio's and Altair's stories, so let's fast forward a few hundred years to meet Connor Kenway, a half-European / half-Native American assassin who is key to saving the world.
Welcome to the Assassins.
So the first game took place during the Crusades in cities like Jerusalem and Damascus, and the sequels moved the fight to Renaissance Italy and Constantinople. Assassin's Creed 3 makes an even bigger leap and crosses the ocean to colonial America. You'll be traveling from Boston to New York to the wide open frontier, populated by a lot of cute little animals. Speaking of frontier, this area is a good showcase of the game's new technology. The shapes in the terrain make for a much more expansive and realistic game, while the changing weather and seasons make it much more technically complicated than before. And like I already said, there are also a lot of animals that you can track and hunt. Animal skins can be sold in shops to give you a little extra cash, or if you're more of an animal activist, you can just pet them. The new technology is also on display during the brand new naval battles. This is the first of the series, and sea conditions will affect your control of the ship and aim of your cannon. You'll be battling for position, and you won't be able to just sink boats with your cannons, but also disable and board enemy ships. So the combat has seen a few changes. Of course, Connor's selection of weapons is different than past Assassins. He's a big fan of the tomahawk, sniping with bow and arrows, and throwing rope darts to either yank dudes towards you or decorate trees. Connor is also trained in the fine art of dual wielding and kicking ass. Connor has many more animations than past Assassins, and as you can see, he's way more brutal. Countering is actually done a little differently than past games. Instead of pressing one trigger button to activate a counter, you first press a face button and then have a choice of what kind of counter you want to perform. Namely, you can throw enemies, stun them, disarm them, or simply kill them by pushing the corresponding button. You can also grab enemies to block incoming musket fire and do cool-looking double kills if two guys attack you at the same time. Finally, there are a few new stealthy things you can do. In addition to new hiding spots around the city, you can also hide yourself in patches of tall grass to stalk your prey. Since Brotherhood, the multiplayer portion has been getting more popular with each new game. The most popular mode, Manhunt, returns and has two teams trying to hunt down and kill each other. You can customize your character, use special abilities, sneak around in crowds, that sort of thing. However, Ubisoft also added two big new modes in AC3. Wolfpack is actually the first exclusively co-op mode that the series has seen. Up to 4 players can coordinate their attacks on computer-controlled targets. Each kill will increase the difficulty of the next, and you'll also have to deal with lookouts or decoys. And if you time it right, you and your friends can assassinate a target at the same time to get a brutal little scene. The second new mode is called Domination. Your assassins are split off into groups of 2, and the teams need to capture and defend up to 3 territories. You can capture a territory by blending in with random people in the area. You defend territories by killing enemies as they enter your ring. Of course, there are lots of special abilities you can use to murderize your victims. Abilities like Glimmer, which turns you invisible for a short time, or Unstoppable, which lets you knock over people like they're bowling pins. Okay, that about covers the important stuff. While this show is about all the new features, don't forget to check IGN for our final say on the game. Also, let us know in the comments what new feature you find most promising in Assassin's Creed 3. I'm Naomi Kyle, and thanks for checking out What's New.